Hello, so mates, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you are new to this channel, you are highly welcome. So, in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to achieve this neckline using three different methods. So, this is the first method I'll be teaching you. So, this is the second method, and this is the third method. And for the back pattern, this is the back pattern. So, if this is a tutorial you're interested in, please like, subscribe, turn on your post notification, and also drop a lovely comment in the comment section. So guys, let's start with the first method, method one. So this is my pattern. Let me label this for you to see. So this is my shoulder, this is my armhole, my bust, my under bust, the waist, and if you notice there's a 2 inches extension at the top. So this is for the built up neckline. Please ensure you have about 2 inches here. So for this first pattern, we'll be drafting a bustier together with it. So for the other ones, we'll be skipping the bustier part. So we'll be drafting a bustier with the first one. So if you don't know how to draft a bustier, so I will quickly put you through on how to draft a bustier. So now for the measurement I have there, my armhole is 8 inches, my bust is 9, my under bust is 12.5, and my half length is 15.5. So the line I just ruled out is my bust span divided by 2. So I measured it from my bust down to the waist area. So the next thing I did was to go down by half inch from the bust line, and I ruled a very short line there. Then for the under bust tightening or contouring, so at the under bust I took 1 and 1/4 inch, and to the center front I took half inch, while for the other side, the center, so for this side I took, that is the front side, I took 1 and 1/4 at the under bust and 1 inch at the waist area. So as you can see, the way I connected it to this short line I just ruled. So the next thing we have to locate now is our chest line or the upper bust. So now actually my chest line is about 6.5 or 6. Sometimes I use 6.5, sometimes I use 6. But for this video, for this pattern I'm drafting, I'm using 5.5 because I don't want it to be low, because we'll still make a sweetheart neckline to this neckline. So if it is, if you are using 6.5 already, doing a sweetheart neckline will increase the depth of the neckline. So it's better to go up by about 1 inch from your initial chest line. So I went up by 1 inch for my initial chest line to get this line here. So now I will connect this to this new line just like this. Then I will take 1 inch away for the upper bust or the chest line tighten. So I will connect like this. See the way I'm placing my curve. So this is what I did. So what I took out here, I will add it back at the armhole, so the 1 inch I took out here, I will just add it back here. Then I will reshape the armhole. So it is important to reshape the armhole, because if you don't do that, it will affect the bustier. So I've reshaped the armhole. So that short armhole is the actual armhole now. So let's take our other measurement. So I took out my bust divided by 4, my waist divided by 4. The tightening I took out there, I add it back, which is 1.5. So I added it back. Then I'm connecting it like this. So now I want to take a side dart, and I'll be using 1 inch. That's the difference between my front half length and my back half length. So that's why I'm taking this. So all these parts are the unwanted parts we'll be cutting away, and also the part I labeled that. So after doing the bustier, it's now time to do the neckline. So depending on how wide you want your neckline to be, so I'll just be using 4 and 1/4, because from the center to this part here is 4 and 1/4. So that's what I'll be using. And depending on how deep you want your neckline to be, so I'll be using 1 and 3/4 inches below the chest line. As you can see, that 1 and 3/4 inches is close to the armhole. So if that will be too deep for you, please, you can reduce it. You can reduce it to about 1, and if that is not enough, you can still go down to your desired length. So this is what I'm using. So the next thing I will do now is the built up neckline. So I'll measure 2.5 inches here. and at the extension of 2 inches that I have upward there, I will also measure 2.5. Then I will connect with a straight line. Then the next thing I will do is to blend this in. So as you can see how I'm blending it in, please just use a curve to blend this in like this. So I've blended this in. So the next thing I will be doing now is to draw the curve. So I'll be drawing the curve. So for me to draw the curve, I will place my French curve on it. So now this new armhole does not affect the yoke. So just keep watching what I will do. So the new armhole I draw there does not affect the yoke. So it affects from the chest line downward to the waist. But for this other part, it does not affect it. So now for this armhole, for this first method we are doing, the yoke will be separate. So the yoke will be separated, and this yoke will go to the bust area. So let me just place this French curve. So you first connect from the built up neckline over here to the chest line like this. So let me use a deeper marker. So see the way I first connected this to this point here. Then from this point, I'll connect it to the bust area, because the yoke should go under your armhole. So you can do 2 inch under the armhole, but I'm just doing 1 inch underneath my armhole. So this is what I am doing. So this is what the yoke will look like. Please note that we'll be tracing away this yoke from this pattern so that we can focus on our bustier. So we'll be tracing the yoke away very soon. So this is what the yoke is looking like. This is what the yoke is looking like. So this is the yoke. So we'll trace this on another pattern paper so that we can focus on our bustier. So this is a new pattern paper. Just place the old one on it like this. Then you use your tracing wheel to just trace out everything. So use your tracing wheel to trace it out. So after tracing it out, you go ahead and just draw it out with your marker. Then you cut it. So this is the yoke. So this is what we have. Now the next thing is to now focus on our bustier. So please watch what I'm cutting. So the yoke does not affect the bustier. We will still go ahead and cut what the bustier looks like initially. So now this is the bustier, and this is how this yoke will be on it. So this is how it will look. So when you place the yoke on this, this is a pattern. So when we are sewing, this is what it will look like, and as you can see, the shape is already coming out. So this is how it will look like. So now we are done with the method 1. Let's move to the second method, the method 2. So guys, I've already drafted the bustier on this pattern. So what I'm doing now is to replace what I took out at this chest line area. Then I will reshape my armhole. So we have a new armhole, just like we did for the first pattern. So this armhole is invalid now. So the new armhole is the armhole I just drew. So the next thing to do now is the wideness. So I'm also using 4¼ inch. Then for the depth here, I'm using 1.5. That is the sweetheart neckline depth. I'm using 1.5. If that will be too low for you, you can go up, and if it is not too deep, you can still go down. So I went down a little bit. So I'm using my armhole for the depth of this. So I'm using my armhole for the depth of this. So actually this will be too deep, but if you don't mind, you can use it. So now the next thing we'll do is the built up neckline, just like we did for the front. For the first method, you measure your 2.5 inches upward like this, then you blend it in. You blend this part in just like this. Then after blending, you connect this point to this other point. So you connect it like this. So this is what we have. Let me use my marker to make this deeper so that it can be more visible. So guys, let's go ahead and just cut this. So this is the yoke and this is the bustier that I'm cutting currently. So as you can see that the yoke of this one is quite different from the other one. So it's quite different from this one. So this is another method. This is another method. So now let's move to the third method. Method 3. So for this method, I'm using a princess dart bustier. So this is a princess dart bustier that I've already drafted. If you need a tutorial on how to draft a princess dart bustier, let me know in the comment section and I will send it to you. So I measured the 5.5 inches that I measured for the other one too. That 5.5 inches deep. So this is where the neckline will be starting from. And for the wideness again, you know, I've been using 4¼ so that's what I'm also using. So for the depth of this, I'm also using the armhole. So I'll be connecting it from that point to the armhole just like that. Like I said, if this is too deep for you, please don't use it. You can go up by 1.5 or depending on how you want it. So this is what we have. So the next thing now is to measure the 2.5 inches at this point. So let me connect this side just like this, and then the next thing I will do is to blend this part in. So this is blended in already. Then I will place my French curve. See the way I place this French curve is so important. So you place the French curve like this, and this is what we have. In case you don't want to use any bustier, you just want to use the normal regular dart, this method will be for you. So this method will go perfectly for you. So now I'm going ahead to cut this, and after cutting I'll go ahead and tape this down. So this is what this method looks like. So let me know which one you prefer, method 1, 2 or 3. So let's move to the back pattern. So the back pattern is the same for everything except you decide not to use this type of pattern, but you will still, the built up neckline will still have to be there because the built up neckline is at the front. So I just labeled my pattern shoulder, armhole, waist, and this part here is my zipper allowance. So the same 2 inches extension is also at the back. So now I'll go ahead and measure my bust divided by 4. Please don't measure your zipper allowance together with it. So my waist divided by 4, my dart allowance 1 inch, ½ inch for zip bulging, and I'll take it away at this point here. So I've connected it together, and I'll also do the same thing here. So the next thing I want to do now is my dart. So I'll measure my nipple to nipple, that's my bust span divided by 2 plus ½ inch, and for the zipper allowance I have there, I added it to it too. So this is what my dart is looking like. So this is the dart. So for the neckline, I'll also be using a 2.5 inches wide neckline, just like I did for the front pattern, a 2.5 inches. Then you connect it straight up, and then the next thing is to blend it in. So what we'll do for the back pattern is to go down by about ½ inch at this side. Then I will just connect. So you connect like this, and this is what we have. So I'll go ahead and cut this back pattern. So this is what the back pattern looks like. So let me know which of this method you prefer, or which of this method you feel is very easy for you. So let me know in the comment section. So this is the method 1. So guys, this is method 2. This is method 3. and this is the back pattern. So let me know which of this method you find very easy to understand. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked, please like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and please click on that bell icon to get notified whenever I drop a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.